Hi Pisces, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of January. It's unbelievable to say that given the year that we've all had, and it's been a really difficult year for all. We dealt with the historical tale of the era of Capricorn, and that involved massive death and restructuring and loss of structures in our lives and a lot of rebirth and repair. And it's been very difficult, and we've been working under very restrictive and challenging circumstances. And for you, this whole Capricorn story of reconstruction and rebuilding and death and rebirth has been falling in your house of friends and groups and networking. So whether it was challenges or loss of friends in a very difficult time existentially, or you've been reassessing your friendships in the last couple of years because Saturn was transiting in your house of friends from December 20th of 2017 until December 17th of 2020. And that is a time where you can find very karmic friendships and relationships in your life, but also you may reassess or end friendships that you've outgrown. And then Pluto's been transiting in your house of friends and groups since 2008. Jupiter also entered that house on December 2nd of 2019 and was there until December 19th of 2020. So this whole huge narrative, even with the eclipses bringing even further action in your house of friends and groups, and also in your house of romance and creativity. And so that's been a big theme. And hopefully in this past year, with all the challenges we experienced, you were able to network and find strong connections and friendships in this very difficult time. Now we're in a whole different energy. Saturn changed signs on December 17th and entered the fixed air sign of Aquarius, where it's going to transit on and off until March of 2023. Jupiter, which is the grand benefic and the planet of expansion and optimism and higher wisdom, entered the sign of Aquarius on December 19th, and the two met up in the sky on December 21st at 0 degrees and 29 minutes of Aquarius, representing new beginnings. That's the first degree of the sign. And Saturn and Jupiter meet up in the sky every 20 years and form what's known as a great cycle. And this ushers in a whole new societal era, and a big change for all of us collectively. And for you, it's going to be very much around your imagination and around your dreams. You are the sign of dreams. You're ruled by Neptune, which is creativity and dreams and imagination, among other things. And so this is a big time for you to figure out what you need to purge in your life, because Saturn will be transiting in your sign on and off until the spring of 2023. It is going to briefly enter your sign in that journey and give you a preview of Saturn in Pisces. So you're going to want to pay attention the next couple of years. What do you need to release? What do you want to create? What dreams are you trying to anchor? And with Jupiter, the planet of expansion and opportunity, this is a very creative cycle. And the 12th house is the Pisces house in astrology. It's the house of imagination and dreams and the subconscious mind. And you may also find that a lot of old memories come up that you need to sort out, whether you're working on something creatively that involves that, or whether you're releasing it for your own healing and rebirth. Because in a couple of years, Saturn's coming to your sign, and that's going to mark a new cycle. And in the spring of 2023, it's going to be in your sign for the next few years. But you will get a preview prior to that. And Jupiter is going to transit the entire sign of Aquarius in 2021 by the middle of May, and it's going to briefly enter your sign from May 13th until July 29th of this summer. So that's really positive and expansive, because Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces. So manifesting and creativity and romance and just a lot of really positive energy for you, and really focus on what you want to create. So on the 1st of January, Mercury, which is the planet of communication, is transiting in your house of friends and groups, and it forms a sextile to Neptune in your first house of self. And this is a wonderful energy for manifesting your wishes and manifesting opportunity with friends and groups with whom you want to network. If you're looking for a job or to promote yourself, excellent energy for networking and focusing on what you want to manifest. On the 4th of January, Mercury meets up with Pluto, and this can bring endings. This can bring challenges in communication with friends. It also is good for finding out information and getting and researching, but it's not the easiest with communication. On the 6th of January, Mars leaves the sign of Aries, where it's been transiting since June 27th, and it enters the sign of Taurus. And this is a new energy for all of us. This is going to be in your house of writing and communication and marketing and commerce and learning and teaching and local community. And that's where your activity is in many ways until March 5th of this year. And on that same date, Mercury enters Aquarius. And Mercury is going to be in Aquarius in your house of the imagination and subconscious mind until March 15th of this year, which will be Pisces season. And with that said, this is giving all of us a preview of Saturn in Aquarius, because it's going to transit 26 degrees of Aquarius. So we only have 4 degrees left of the sign. So that's almost the entire transit. So pay attention to the dreams and messages that come up with all of this. And, you know, in many ways, pay attention to your dreams the next few years. You're the dreamer of the zodiac, so you should anyway. And on the 11th of January, we have a really nice energy. Mercury meets up with Jupiter in Aquarius in your house of the imagination. And that's really, really good energy for manifesting, for writing, for doing all sorts of manifesting work. It's a very creative energy. It's very optimistic. And both form a sextile to Chiron, the wounded healer. And Chiron's transiting in your house of income and what you value and how you earn money. And so this could help to bring healing around those areas if that's a sensitive area for you right now in your life. And on the 12th of January, we have more challenging energy. We do have a new moon that takes place at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 23 degrees and 13 minutes of Capricorn. And a new moon is always a time to set new intentions and initiate new beginnings. And this falls in your house of friends and groups and networking, where you've really been focusing that energy the last few years. But with this new moon, it sets off the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that occurred on January 12th of last year. And that's the conjunction that changed the world. So we're getting more stories in our own lives and on the world stage with that. And also Mars is squaring Saturn. Mars is transiting in Taurus, squaring Saturn in Aquarius. And that can be challenging. Saturn's in your house of the imagination, and Mars is transiting in your 3rd house of thinking and learning, and it's going to be there until March 5th, but that's kind of a tough energy, so just recognizing that that won't be easy. And on the 14th of January, Uranus stations direct at 6 degrees of Taurus in your house of communication and writing and information. So you might get unexpected news. It can be very innovative, but we feel that energy 5 days before and 5 days after. And that can be very tough energy. So, knowing that people will be acting very irrational or unpredictable or however it expresses itself. But that energy, the Aquarian energy, is very strong in the middle of the month. On the 19th of January, the sun enters the sign of Aquarius and enters your house of the subconscious mind and dreams, and it'll be transiting there until February 19th. And then again, that's really good energy for creating and manifesting. On the 20th of January, we have a challenging influence. Mars is meeting up with Uranus in Taurus in your house of communication and information and news. And people are going to be very easily triggered on that date and very irascible. So just, kind of recognizing that people will be just very fiery. And then on the 23rd of January, we have a very beautiful influence. Venus in Capricorn in your house of friends and groups is forming a magical sextile to Neptune in your sign, in your house of self. And that can be good for romance, for friendships, for creative projects with friends, for healing journeys with friends. Just a very nice energy. And on that same date, Mars in Taurus in your house of thinking forms a square to Jupiter in your house of the imagination. And that's also creative and fun energy. It can be excessive, but I think that's a really nice day. On the 26th of January, the sun in Aquarius squares Uranus in the sky, and the sun is transiting in your 12th house of endings and the subconscious mind, and squaring Uranus. There maybe are unexpected endings, can be a bit challenging, and Neptune in your sign squares the nodes of fate, and squaring the north node in your house of home and family. And there could be issues around family that are a bit sensitive. There could be spiritual connections, but it can be a bit difficult. On the 28th of January, we have a full moon that takes place at 2:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 9 degrees and 6 minutes of Leo. And this falls in your house of work and daily routine, and hopefully brings completion to a project that you've been working on. It's going to be challenging energy because on that date, Venus meets up with Pluto in the sky in Capricorn, and that's falling in your house of friends. Maybe there are issues with friends. Maybe there are endings going on, and it's just an emotional energy. It's our first full moon of the year. And then on the 30th of January, Mercury retrogrades at 26 degrees of Aquarius in your house of endings and the subconscious mind. And it gives us a preview of all of us, of what Saturn in Aquarius is going to be about. And Mercury will be in Aquarius until March 15th of this year. I wish you all a lot of luck, and thank you very much. Take care.